yeah, being able for one Dawn to give them unblockable could be really nice. I do kind of wish I ran two, just because, Luffy has the ability to be unblockable by himself. I mean, for two Dawn, but yeah, I feel like three was a little too much. But this is the deck list I threw together. This is the deck list you're going to see in the next couple of videos. And yeah, tell me what you guys think. As I said, I'm pretty new to deck building, but Zoro seems pretty easy, so that's what this deck looks like, and let's hop into the game. Alright, so we are going to hop into the game now. I hope that my explanation of my deck list wasn't too shitty. I didn't really know what to say about it. I am really new to building decks, and I know that Zoro's pretty standard of a build. I feel like Zoro is something that everybody runs the same type of deal, so I didn't really know what to say, and I did build it several weeks ago at this point. So we are playing against Perona, and I'm feeling pretty good about this game. I really did have a lot of fun playing Zoro. I think the entire tournament I ended up going like 2-2, I think, if I remember correctly. But I just had like a really good time, and that's really nice. I've been playing a lot of Katakuri lately, and I've been getting really frustrated with not winning. And with me, one of the things is I started the game for the first 6 months, all I played was Nami, and I got fucking smoked. So, and that's putting it nicely. So, speaking of Nami, I get my 2 Dawn turn, I play out Nami. But it's important to me that I do my best, but it's also important that I remember to have fun. So, it was really fun to bring Zoro to this tournament, and this is where I kind of start bringing more off-meta leaders to tournaments, and just trying to have some fun, as well as the way I've done it, the way I've organized it is Tuesdays I get to have fun, Thursdays I sweat, and then the Saturday tournament is whatever I feel like. I can sweat or I can have fun, up to me. But back into the game. He gets on to his 3 Dawn turn, and we pulled the Nico Robin from our search, even though we could have pulled another Rush, what is his name? Rush Luffy. I just felt like we had the Rush Luffy in our hand, so Nico Robin made more sense to me. And he ends up swinging 5, and we decide to take it, and we trigger the Gum Gum King Kong. I think it's Gum Gum King Kong. I'll put the picture on screen. It's a new OP06 card. I can't remember. I was trying to find some OP06 Zoro builds, and a lot of them were saying that the King Kong was really good. I didn't really get the chance in person to utilize it when I was testing on the sim. I liked it a lot. I'm trying to remember. I watched a video of somebody was playing the Zoro deck, and they had it, and she did really well with it, and that's why I put it in. I'll put her information in the description below, but I can't remember who it was. We go ahead and swing all 4 because I feel like I have bodies to play, but I don't like. He can easily, the removal that Perona has is pretty good at removing them, so I didn't want to put them out just to have them get removed immediately. So he ends up tapping 2, plays a brand new, beautiful glare, and he picks up this Smoker, which I thought was really interesting. I really like that Smoker card. I don't see it in a lot of decks, which is kind of a bummer. So he goes ahead, swings 6, and I do use Otama to counter out with the 2K, and then I get the Makino, I believe is their name. And so we're at our 6th Dawn turn, and I really like being at the 6th Dawn turn, and just being able to play, with I don't know if it's technically on curve, but being able to play the 5 cost, and then swinging 6, putting the Dawn on Zoro, and then having 5 Dawn left over to be able to attack with 7 with the 5 cost Luffy, I think is really nice. So I swing 6, then they go ahead and spiderweb out, and I tap 2, and I tap 5, ooh, and swing in with Luffy, and that's 7. So he ends up taking that hit, and I'm sitting pretty, dude. I'm feeling really confident. My hand is looking good. If I can get bodies on the board that can stay, that is kind of my goal now. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. So he ends up minusing Luffy and blowing him up with the Ryuma. Very, very good card. I don't see many green decks not running that card in the future. I could be totally wrong, but that's just what I see. He swings 5, 6, 7, 8 at me, and I go ahead and take it. I probably have the counter in my hand, but I don't know. I struggle because I think that all these cards are too good to be used as counter. So I'm trying to see what I can do here. I'm trying to see if I can lower the cost to utilize Nico Robin and maybe blow up the Ryuma. And of course, as you guys know, math is hard, so I'm really thinking about it there. And I go ahead and I put one. I know I'm gonna put at least one Dawn on Zoro, so I put one Dawn on Zoro as I try and figure out what I want to do. And I go ahead and play the Sanji, just 1 cost vanilla Sanji. I really like that card. I love that it interacts with the Bond Clay card, and I love that it's Sanji. That's all. So I'm trying to figure out what else I can do. I feel like I have just a ton of Dawn at this point, and I'm not really sure. So I go ahead and play Brook, and I decide to put the 2 rested Dawn on Zoro so we can get a big hit in. And I just still have so many cards in my hand, but like I don't want to play the 2 that buff up the 1 cost because they will be gone next turn. So I go ahead and I put another Robin on field with no effect, just because I mean at this point I'm feeling like, okay, like the likelihood that Perona can clear my board completely is low, but getting rid of a couple things, yes, like I can see them doing that. So I go ahead and swing, and they take it. They're already down to 1 life. One of the things I really did enjoy about the Zoro deck is that it was super aggressive, and my games were over quick. I either won or I lost fast, and that was kind of fun for me. I'm used to, I started playing in OP05. I played Anel, so those games go on forever. Also, I'm so sorry if you can hear my dog. She is broken the squeaker of her Kenny toy, but she is playing behind me. So he swings Ryuma into Zoro, and I go ahead and counter out with a Makino. I'll put her name on I'll put her card on the screen if I haven't done so already, and so you guys can know. And they swing 6. I get another Zoro, and they double Borsalino, which I'm like, oh, okay. And I get a Diablo Jabe, which I think I'm saying wrong. I'm just the most American when I say that. But I'm at my 10 Dawn now, so I'm trying to decide what I want to do at this point. And this game was a couple weeks ago, so I'm not really sure. I feel like I dropped 10 costs just because why not? But I don't feel like that's the right play. So I hope I didn't. I feel like just buffing up. Okay, good job, Pass Connor. You didn't go for the swag. I think I might end up fire fisting one of the Borsalinos. I think I do. I think I fire fist a Borsalino and then start swinging. Because there's not a ton they can do here to get around it. So I go ahead. I tap 1. I pull 1 to the side so I can know that I got guard point. Kind of advertising that I have guard point, but my tiny little brain needs this. So I 2, and I fire fist one of the Borsalinos, and I'm like, I don't know which one. And you know what? Let's go this one. So I -4 there. And then no bonus effect on that, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, we got our Dawn on Zoro, and I think we just kind of swing big. So Sanji swings 6 into Perona, and he trashes the Borsalino, which understandable. I think so. There's a lot of math involved in this, so you can see my math finger is moving. He counters out with Virgo after I swing 3, 4, 5, 6 with the Zoro effect, and I go ahead and swing. I think another 6. Yeah, another 6. We swing 6, 6, 6. Oh goodness. Oh gee willikers. And he ends up taking that last hit. And at this point, I'm wishing I had the Diablo Jambe so I can, play the cool, look cool, So I end up taking my last swing, and I end up swinging at Ryuma, and he ends up countering out, which I'm okay with. I feel like he has to clear board at this point, because if he doesn't, I can swing. I've got a couple swings, and I think he only has about 2 or 3 cards in his hand. Oh no, that's more than 2 or 3. My goodness. I promise that my camera angles get better so you can see their hand sizes a little better in the future. He goes ahead and he taps 8 for the Gecko, and at this point in the game I'm like, oh no, I'm in danger. So he plays Ryuma, and I think he ends up popping he pops Brook with it, which yeah, 2 for 3. Everybody else is 1. Okay, I can see the benefit of that. I wasn't sure about that at first, but now that I'm looking back at it, yeah. So he goes ahead and he swings 4 into Robin, and I do let her go. Man, it's looking pretty rough. He swings 5 into Sanji, and I think yeah, I go ahead and guard point and keep my Sanji up. I was originally gonna let him go, but Sanji fans see the goodness, and he plays the Rosinante, and I'm like, oh no, like, I'm getting pretty scared at this point about what I can do. And the game's kind of slowed in pace, and I'm dwindling down on life. And while he has, no life, he has blockers and some board presence. And I end up playing the 10 cost Luffy, just because it's a big body, and then if he activates a blocker, which he has blockers, it's pretty good. And he has Rush, 10 cost Luffy with Rush that punishes for blocking, is pretty good. So yeah, I go ahead and KO the Ryuma, and I swing 5, and he blocks Borsalino, which makes sense. So I do like that Rush Luffy. It's a big body, and obviously it's not the best Rush Luffy in the game. I'm looking at you, Purple Rush Luffy, but wait, is that even Rush? Anyway, yeah, I feel like that was a pretty good, I had to put him in that spot, and we did end up getting rid of a blocker. And I think he goes ahead and he swings into that Luffy. He swings, he swings 12 at the 11. I think the Luffy's 11, and I know the Luffy must be 10. I counter out. I figure he's got to swing really big at that Luffy to get rid of that Luffy twice. Kind of saves my skin there, and I end up taking the guard point. I keep it in my hand, and I'm thinking at this point I could probably go for game this turn, if I spread out my Dawn correctly, because I do have 3 bodies with leader, and not mad about it. So I go 8 in with lead, and he counters out with the blocker, or he blocks out, and we end up getting it. And yeah, that was I really had a lot of fun with that game. It definitely felt very aggressive in my favor at first, And then towards the mid game, when it kind of slowed down, he like established a board. I did feel like, oh no, like it's slowing down. This is not great. But we were able to get the win. Thankfully, he had no counter in hand, which is good for us, unfortunate for him, but that is the game, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this game. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.